Welcome back to the channel, welcome back to the vlog. Today we're doing a car review over one of my dream cars. It's a 720S Spider. So this is my second dream car to do a video over. The first one was the Audi R8, and now we're doing the 720S Spider. Now this is a 2020 720S Spider. This is so crazy. It came out a few years after the regular 720S Coupe, and the name with McLaren hints at the horsepower. It is powered by a 4-liter twin-turbo V8 with 710 horsepower and 568 pound-feet of torque, and it is rear-wheel drive. This rear wing normally stays down like this whenever you're just cruising along, but if you put it into a active mode, or if you hit a certain speed, this comes up, and if you slam on the brakes, it comes up directly for air brake. A lot of more supercars do that, and some other McLarens actually don't do that. If I'm correct, it's only the 765 LT, the 720S, the Senna, and the P1. If you look up to the side, it's very sleek. This car is very sleek. Not a lot of big gaping holes for the air and stuff. And yeah, where is the air scoop, the side scoop to feed the engine air? There's one down there, but that's not for the engine. If I'm correct, that's for the brakes. But on all the McLarens, it's always right here, but you don't really see that. It is actually covered by the door. So the air comes up over the hood, front end of the car. It's very dynamic, and it pushes the air up over the fender, down the door, through the door, into the engine. And that's how the engine gets its air. And then obviously right back here with the air coming up and over, it picks up the hot air and pushes it out over the rear wing. The base price for the 720S Spider is about $300,000 to $315,000, and the options are very, very plentiful. You can get like anything you want, and then you can also take it to MSO, McLaren Special Operations, and do literally anything you want. So you can get these up super high. Like what one of my friends told me when speccing out a car: if you're not careful, it gets super expensive, and this is no option. As I go through, there are some options on this car that I do know the price of, including the roof. So the way you actually get inside the McLaren is come right over here. You slide your hand down, and you're gonna feel a small little lever here, right there. That's what you feel. You can feel it because it bends down a little bit, and it feels a bit different than the rest of the car. You just click that, and it opens up the door. Now, since it is a Spider, the door does open up a little bit different than the Coupe, because it's not connected to the roof. The Coupe actually bends over a bit more that way. This one comes up a bit higher. And to open up this door while the windows are up, you actually have to wait a little bit, because it opens up so far forward and so high. You have to wait a little bit for the window to go down, so then you won't hit the windshield. And if you break that, it's probably a lot of money. And before I forget, which I already did forget to say this before, but this car does do 0 to 60 in what McLaren says 2.8 seconds, but you can more than likely get it faster than that stock from the factory. And so this only happens while the roof is up, and we did it inside the garage, and it was very iffy for us. It didn't really want to work. But if the roof is up, you can come over here, click the up button, and this whole panel folds up, and there's like some very small storage that you can actually put back there. And then click the down button, and it goes back down. When you go to put the roof back, you actually have to go in there manually and say that the area is clear for the roof to go down. There's nothing back there, so nothing would get broken. Just like any other supercars, the whole monocoque is made out of carbon fiber, and from the looks of it, it is forged carbon fiber. That's very, very cool, very hard to make. And then look at that. You can actually see some of the really big weave carbon fiber, and it's just so strong. Big weave carbon fiber means it's really strong and very durable. So this whole car is actually made out of carbon fiber. And I don't know about the numbers on this car, but like the 570S, stick it up on and it can hold the weight of 2 London double-decker buses. Open up the door and it says McLaren right down here on the door seal. There you are. So then you won't forget what you're hopping into, nor the model car, 720S. But without ado, let's hop on in and talk about the interior. Okay, so I just hopped into the McLaren 720S, and it's the wheel is very thin actually. It feels way thinner than I thought it would. It also feels really nice. You got all this carbon fiber right here, carbon fiber paddle shifters, and it's the whole length. And it is stuck to the steering column, but it's like very nice and large. That's pretty nice. And one cool thing about the McLaren is for like people who drive one-handed or something, you can actually upshift and downshift using one paddle. So if you upshift from the drop, you just push forward, representing this pushing back, and it upshifts. Pull back and it downshifts. Vice versa over here. So that is pretty cool. But sitting inside the McLaren, you can tell you're super low to the ground, but it's also pretty nice in here at the same time. Big screen, and it's vertical. Some people like it horizontal, some people like it vertical, but with this screen you can actually do a lot. But before I get to this screen, let's talk about something that a lot of supercars actually don't have. Not one, but 2 cup holders, and that is super cool. If you get all Alcantara in here, these will be lined in Alcantara, both of them, so I don't really know how well that's going to do with a drink that has a lot of condensation on it, but it's leather in this one. Yep, leather on both. Not a whole lot of Alcantara, just mostly on the seats and stuff, but yeah, so you do have cup holders. And then right here is where you raise and lower the roof, and this is for the wind blocker. I'll talk about those here in a little bit. So here's the air vents. So it's very small. Here's one right here that literally just blows out. Don't know what the point of that, but all 3 of the other ones actually just turn, very simple and stuff like that. But that one right there is the oddball out. So there's actually a nice little spot for the key. Slides in right there. So that is a nice little spot for the key, so then it won't be flying around when you know a cup holder. But like I said, I now have the key, and that's a cool thing. The dash folds up and down. So the electronics just turned on in the car, and it shows a silhouette of the McLaren 720S. That's so cool. But if you want it to be put back down, you just click this button right there, and it folds back down. I'm Pamby. And right there. So if it's like this, it's only showing you the basic need to know information. So if like you're on a track or something, this shows you everything that you need to know for the track. But if you're like just driving around or whatever and pull it back up, this tells you bit more information for just like regular city driving or whatever. If you put it into track, it automatically folds down, it stays like that. Or if you just wanted it just to stay like this or like that, you obviously just click that button. So on this screen in here, right down there, is like some buttons to actually play around with the screen, and it's actually pretty cool. Actually pretty responsive. And for a supercar, it's actually not that bad. And navigation, so then you have a big navigation screen while you're driving. Right here is how you put it into drive, neutral, and reverse. It's actually no park. The park is the parking brake. That's how you park it. Keep it neutral, apply the parking brake. But you just put one of those and then you're off on your way. Okay, so right here is what I was talking about earlier. you obviously push forward to raise the roof, push down to lower the roof. Right here is actually to raise and lower this window right there. So if you push it once, push it up, it comes up halfway. Hold it down, it comes all the way up. So you have to hold it down whenever you do this. And it stops halfway, and it's like that. But if the roof is up, you can raise it and lower it all the way so then you can actually hear the engine. Alright, so if you push up on this raise the roof button, it raises the roof, and it does it in 11 seconds. And now it's up. So if you're ever just driving around in like California or Florida or somewhere really sunny and you're just getting too hot with this roof, you can actually click this button right here and watch. Boom. It's very tinted now, so it won't be super hot. And this roof actually has a special name. This roof is called the electrochromic roof, and it's about a $9,000 option. But I think that's really cool. So one cool thing about the key fob is to open up the trunk. It's right here. And the way you know it's a trunk is by, if you look real close, you can actually see the bumps on the wheels. That's when you know it's the trunk. So here's the trunk. It's actually not too shabby of a space. You can actually put a decent amount of stuff in here for a supercar. We have both the doors and trunk open. This is what it looks like. There's also vents right behind there for the front brake. So this car is all about aerodynamics, but it's such a gorgeous car. McLaren hit it out the park with this. I absolutely love this car. This is what it looks like with the roof up. So at some angles it actually looks like a regular 720S coupe. And one cool thing about back here, about the flying buttresses, this is what they're actually called, because you can actually go underneath them and it's actually glass. Don't know why it's glass, because you're just looking right at the plastic tonneau cover, but that's actually pretty cool. So one thing I did forget to say is the exhaust is right here, so it's pretty cool. It's not down below or anything. It's right there, right next to the McLaren badge. Huge shout out to my friend who let me come over and film his car. He's a really cool dude. He is the one that had that Acura NSX that I got a film and drive not too long ago. So like I said, he's a really cool dude. Huge shout out to my friend. I hope you guys enjoyed this video over the McLaren 720S Spyder. If you guys did, don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe for more cool content to come your way. But as always, adios, chat.